Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Bull City Pioneers podcast. As you tune into your two favorite Latinos, my name is Hector.
My name is Luis.
Welcome to episode number 81.
81, bro.
Damn, long trail.
81.
I've got a lot of episodes to check in if this is your first one.
Bruh. Hey, but I mean, we're closing down on our first 100 episodes. We got 1,000 to go, man. We got 1,000 to
We got a
go.
lot to go, bro.
Even if we're here, you know what I'm saying? We're still going to keep on going. 1,000
I
episodes.
think like the Joe Budden podcast is like in the thousands.
Oh,
I
really?
think so.
Damn.
I haven't listened to them in a minute.
Wait, do they upload weekly or?
Yeah.
Weekly?
Like I said, I haven't listened to them in a hot minute. I
How
think
was-
it's weekly though.
I was listening to a podcast not too.
Like maybe
Oh,
twice a week.
It was the Impulsive by Logan Paul and Jake Paul. That shit's pretty dope. I used to think it was whack, but now, man, it's no. The Impulsive show by Logan Paul.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
It's pretty fun sometimes. Like one of their recent episodes, I think it's recent. It was funny. I'm not even gonna speak on it. It's too inappropriate. Yeah, for sure.
Go check it out yourself.
Yeah, right.
And then come back and drop your comments on your
Right, something like that. One episode that is pretty dope that's coming up, not a show, but an event, is Pat Jr.'s, what's the name?
Oh, is it hip hop and mental health? I think is the name of it.
I thought it was
music
and mental health,
Yeah.
which is I'm pretty interested on what's going to be on it, especially since, you know, his music, the connotation and the message behind his music.
Introspective.
Right, it's very introspective, and sometimes it has to do a lot with mental health. So
Especially his most recent album.
Right.
Yeah, it's very personal.
very.
And
personal.
he curated this. Well, of course he has like a team of people helping him. But
Right.
It's gonna be him on the panel with like I think he said 2 other like licensed psychologists.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's for real. It's professional.
For real.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm down. Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
for real.
All right.
So don't miss this event. It's gonna be on the 18th, March 18th.
March
Yeah.
18th.
It's a free event. It's gonna be at Playground Studios. We're gonna both be there.
Right.
You know, a lot of the local people are gonna be there, and it's gonna be a great experience because it's a topic that we're all discussing, and it's very like hot still.
Right.
In the air, in the culture.
It's always been a big issue, but now it's more. It's more in the spotlight now,
Yeah.
definitely. But mental health has been a big thing since like the creation of humans,
Yeah.
which I don't know when it was, but just know that it has always been a big part of life. But it's crazy that now, this era has been, has put a spotlight on it, which is crazy. It should have been a spotlight since like the first days of, little Adam and Eve. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think it's really dope that artists like of his caliber are putting stuff like this
right.
together for the community and stuff because it's much needed.
It's free. That's the thing. Most people are gonna be like, "Oh, I can't go because I don't want to spend $10 or $20." It's free.
It's free, bro.
Why not go?
That's over here.
You know what I mean? Like it's mental health. Let's learn something about it.
It's a hot topic, but
right.
A lot of people are afraid to touch on it, and so
Right.
I guess I don't know. Do you think that you'd feel comfortable like opening up more in groups with people, or more like?
I don't care,
smaller
man.
group of
We do this and we open up about each other on this platform, so I don't really mind. I mean, yeah, we don't have people in front of us, but I know that there's people watching us, so I don't really mind. And the thing is at this event, you never know if you're gonna even learn something about yourself that you didn't know about yourself. You know what I mean? Like you might get to know yourself more after this event or during this event. So why not go? You know what
Even get to know like some of the homies that we already have.
Right.
That we didn't know before, like they were going through stuff.
Right.
Because I feel like obviously because there's gonna be panelists, so they're gonna have a section where it's like Q&A or like open discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So people are gonna be like there like talking some deep stuff.
It's gonna be
very
hot.
impactful.
It's gonna be hot.
And it's in a way it's gonna bring all the local people together even tighter, which I think is gonna be a really dope experience.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know why, but what I'm foreshadowing for myself, for my mental health, for my what I think of as my mental health is that I feel like I'm gonna learn something new about myself for sure. That's what I think. Just because I know Pat Jr. and he goes hard every time he does something when it comes to the music world. So I'm very curious. What am I gonna learn about myself? What are you gonna learn about yourself? What are you guys gonna learn about yourself? Your mental health, your emotional health, even your physical health. Sometimes your physical health affects your mental health. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to go work out or go for a walk or go for a jog or go for a bike ride than sitting at home watching YouTube, dwelling. I don't know about you, man, but in the past 3 years, I've gone through some pretty harsh moments, bro. And even just going for a drive, man, like changes my whole mood. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you. Right. I don't know if you know this about me, Hector, but I love like just driving in the country.
You talked about it on the podcast before. You drove all the way to Virginia, didn't even realize it.
Yeah. It was hours. I don't know what had put me in such a state of mind that made me not even keep track of time, bro. Right. Like I ended up at Virginia. We're like an hour away from Virginia, the Virginia and North Carolina border, and damn. And I wasn't even taking the highway. That's the thing.
Oh, you're taking the back.
I was taking the back roads, bro. I was lost, my guy.
I don't remember that part.
I was lost, dude. I was like, I mean, I'm pretty sure a couple of hours had probably gone by, probably like 2 or 3 hours. But I was like, damn, it's like that. It's like that. I'm really not paying attention to time. I mean, I was focused on driving and listening to music. And that's the thing that helps me out a lot, bro. Is like when I do certain activities, even if it's as simple as cleaning with music, it's like it's kind of good for my mental health. That's in my opinion.
Some music, bro.
Right. Even when I used to be a porter, basically a valet driver at Toyota, dude, freaking, having earbuds.
Listen to music on the job.
They didn't. I mean, how I said, I didn't give a fuck about my job at that point. And you say something, I didn't care about my job at that point because of the treatment and the mistreatment and everything that they did to me. So I don't really care. I didn't really care at that point. It was like towards the end of my time there. So yeah.
Well, the event is called Music and Mental Health. So obviously, it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be more focused on like the creators and people who are like in the music and stuff. But at the same time, I feel like you can show up to this event regardless because mental health applies to everybody.
General people.
Everybody's dealing with something. Doesn't matter who you are. So come out to Pat Jr.'s event, March 18th. It's free. What time? Did we say what time it was going to be?
I think it's like 7 p.m.
You can also check out his Instagram.
Put it up here. March 18th, 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Playground Studios.
7 to 9. So.
Yeah. It's pretty good. 2 hours, yeah. And then I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. But Lord Fest is probably going to be there. But his birthday's coming up. It's in April. He has a birthday bash.
Yeah, we're doing this a little ahead of time.
Right. I mean, we're gonna promote it before it happens, but definitely, put it in your calendar. April 17th.
I think it was. I gotta check this one too. Give me a second. March 10th or April 10th. My bad. April 10th.
April 10th. Okay. Yeah. All right. And what time?
9. Starts at 9. Doors open at 8, but the show starts at 9. So.
And address?
It's gonna be in Raleigh or at Kings. I don't think you've been to Kings.
No,
have you?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't. Maybe post a banner on the.
Yeah, I'll put the obviously the mental health one and then Lord Fest is right here.
Right. Gotcha.
We're probably gonna promote that again like a week before
or like a couple weeks before and then a couple of days before as well. So we gotta do a segment, man. We haven't done a segment in such a long time, bro. Growing up Latino, man.
Great.
Growing up Latino. I did. I even forgot the name of the segment. That's how bad it was. That's how long we haven't done one, man. That's crazy.
What I haven't done either?
What?
Weak bars.
Oh, hell no, I ain't even ready for that, man. I think I'm retired at this point.
That career didn't last long, bro.
Bro, I mean, it was full of weak bars, but it wasn't strong enough. It was a weak career.
Well, I got I got the picture for
Growing
today's
Up
segment. Growing Up Latino.
Just put it in the middle.
Put it right here.
I'll read it out. So the picture.
Yeah, explain the picture.
Right. Picture is a mother.
For the people who are listening.
Is a mother with paper documents, government documents, and a cat which represents the child. So it says on the mother's forehead, my mom asking me to translate.
And then on the papers.
On the papers it says government documents. And then on the cat, 8-year-old me. Oh my goodness.
Like the little cat's face is like really open wide. This is for our audio audience.
Right.
So it's like the little cat is just like staring at the papers and like the mom is like pointing at the papers.
Right, right. Man, let me tell you something. I know we've both gone through this so many times, and so have our Latino / other foreign viewers and listeners. But I never felt like I can't speak. I never felt embarrassed to do it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man, bro. I never felt embarrassed. But bro, our parents made us, do this at such a young age, bro.
Bro, that's fact.
Like, bro, when my parents were about to buy a house, I was 10, right? I'm 20 now. It was about 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, which is crazy. But 10 years ago, I was 10, and my mom and dad were like, "Hey, read this document."
Yo, what the?
Yo. It wasn't even a document. It was like something this big. It was a whole.
And they expect you to like translate and define like every
right.
Term.
It was a mortgage agreement. It was just a whole lot of real estate papers and stuff. And I was like, damn, this shit's a lot. Let me tell you something. Although I spoke English, I was still stuck by the computer. Huh?
Like reading it?
No. I'm saying, let me speak. Hold up. Although I knew how to read and speak English, I was still stuck at the computer looking up, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? What does that word mean? I was like, bro, you might as well, I might as well get a degree, as a lawyer, as a translator, because what I'm saying, I was 10 years old, reading legal papers and translating them and making sure that they weren't getting played.
Right.
Because that's what they were worried about. They were worried about not getting, played with their money. And I remember, it took me it took me about a week to go through, the pile of papers, right? And I'm not talking about coming home from school and working on it. I'm talking about, like, it was summertime, and I was stuck all week, trying to make sure all these papers, and then
like summer school.
Right. This is or summer assignment, and then this is the funny part. They asked me, so do you think this is a good deal?
Well, what are you asking a 10-year-old for?
Bro, no. And see, that's the thing. I didn't know what to fucking say. So, I jumped online and I started looking, comparing prices, like, what this property was selling for and how much acreage it had, how much this other property was being sold for this acreage. And I feel like that really kind of like skewed me towards
First of all, that's really complex to be looking up at 10 years old. Like, so props to you.
Bro, no. See, that's the thing. I was a nerd at that time, so I was always using the computer, so that wasn't the big issue. The big issue was that I was only 10 years old, and I was trying to figure out, should my parents get into this, into debt to buy this house? I mean, I said yes, because I compared other prices of other houses of similar acreage and foot square, how big the house was in the interior. I was like, I think it's fair. It's in the middle. It's not too bad, but it's not too good. You know what I mean? And they went on ahead and did it. And it just I feel like that's what also skewed me towards wanting a career, or not a career, but wanting to get into real estate eventually in my later years. Because I was like, bro, this is pretty fun. And I was like, damn, these dudes are making money, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, these dudes are not doing nothing. Like, they're doing
They're
sitting on their ass.
Well, I said they're not sitting on their ass.
Oh, they're not sitting.
Yeah, because they're making money.
No. They were sitting on their ass while making money.
Oh.
The money was working for them, you know what I mean? So they didn't have to do nothing. They just had to, collect checks and collect cash every month. So, I was like, dude, this is pretty good, man. I want to do this, but I was like, bro, probably need $1 million for this.
Right, yeah.
Right, but
I think I saw like another picture too.
Right.
On Instagram that says like, why can't I've been translating, for my parents since I was like 8 years old, and I can't put that on my resume.
Right.
Like that.
Yo, that is so true. Yo,
why can't I put that on my resume?
Right. If you're a foreigner, or let's just be real, if you're Hispanic that's been, well, no, actually foreigner, because other people from other countries have done this, but if you're a foreigner, you've been translating for your parents, since day one in this country, that should be something that something that they should let you put on your resume for sure. For sure.
And if you don't do it for your parents, they're like, you don't do it or you don't eat. Like
right. That's the thing. Like they were like, because I told my parents, I was like, this is too much for me, and then they were like, oh, you still want a roof over your head?
Yeah.
What's up? Like, I mean,
so you trying to tell me what to do? Like,
bro, right.
I can't understand it. I'm 10 years old.
Right. So, man, let me tell you something. Foreigners, bro. First, foreigners that come over to this country with kids, man. Them kids be going through some stuff, bro. We gotta learn how to do so many things at a young age. You know what I mean? You gotta learn how to speak a language early. You gotta learn how to, make an appointment at the doctor's office. You gotta know how to translate legal documents. You gotta know how to
do all that.
Just a bunch of processes that you wouldn't think a kid should be dealing with at such a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, damn, bro, we really had to grow up at a young age, dude.
Have you ever on the stove?
Bruh, that too. Have you ever done your taxes, bro?
By myself, no.
By yourself, no. But have you ever had to get all the documents that you need to go to the tax office?
I've gone by myself.
What's the first time you had to do that? For your parents or for yourself?
For myself.
Yeah, I know, but how old were you?
Oh, I'm 22 now, so I think I was like 18. 2 years ago.
What's the youngest age? What's the youngest age you did it for yourself? Like you did it for your parents or you for yourself?
For myself.
No, I'm saying have you ever done it for your parents?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I had to as well.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought you were giving me the right answer because I was asking them what's the youngest age you were doing it for your parents or for yourself.
Oh no.
You were saying it. You were saying for yourself. But for me, dude, the earliest one I can remember, I think it was like 12 as well. It was like around the time that I was applying for DACA. So, yeah.
Dang, you're doing taxes.
No, I wasn't doing taxes. I was having my mom gather the documents that you need to do your taxes.
Putting up your own taxes.
Hell no. Shit. Although, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen what they do at tax offices, and I feel like I can do it. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure we can both do it. I'm sorry. I mean, you need to ask for the right document.
Faces.
Bro.
What would the name be? Victor Luis Taxes or something? No, that's
Taxes Duras. Bro. Yeah. That would be mad funny though. It would be even more funny if it turned into a reality. But whatever. So just to start wrapping it up, Hector and Pioneer Nation. Short episode, interesting, funny. Not really, but you want to do a quote or a question?
I'm gonna do a question.
I'm gonna do a quote. For me, I'm gonna say.
You want me to go first?
No, I got it. Okay. Always learn to learn about yourself.
Always learn about yourself.
You get it?
I do. But elaborate so in case I'm not thinking different.
Learn how to learn. Wait, what did I say? Bro.
Learn how to learn about yourself?
Yeah, learn how to learn about yourself. So I'm saying...
That does make sense.
Right. So learn how to, just maybe learn how to step aside sometimes. Step aside from life and your daily routine to... get to know yourself. Get to know what's good for your mental health, what's bad, what currently in your life is doing more bad than good or more good than bad, and just go from there. Take action from learning about yourself.
Yeah.
So,
I like
what's your question?
That was deep. That was low-key deep.
It was? It was confusing as fuck.
It's like I was trying to explain about it at the same time. You were trying to learn about yourself then.
Yeah, right. But what's your question?
It had to do with the same thing. So I was just gonna give a mental health question. Like, have you been keeping track of yourself lately?
Right.
You know, we talked about that for a little half of this episode. We wanted to keep it a little short and sweet, but majority of the topic had to deal with mental health. So I just want to know how you guys are doing. Have you been keeping track of yourself lately?
All right. But thank you guys for tuning in once again to the Bull City Pioneer podcast. I'm Luis. Check us out at Bull City Pioneers on all streaming platforms. On Instagram, we're at Bull City Pioneers. At Bull City Pioneers on all platforms, basically. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Luis.
I'm Hector.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.